Hey everybody, Randy Reed here. Welcome to the Leadership Success course. Hey, why do you have a leadership program in your school? And do you have a real leadership program in your school, or are you just kind of maybe paying lip service to it? I think the leadership aspect of martial arts is the most important thing we can do, by far. It's going to add value to our program. It's going to help you build your culture, the single biggest asset you can have. The student gets lifelong benefits. What better thing can we do for our students than to teach them to be confident leaders for the rest of their lives? It's going to raise your retention rates. This school that I'm working with has the highest retention that I've ever seen in a martial arts school. Once the students understand the value of this leadership program and the parents understand it, it's dramatic. It's also the first step in developing your AAA assistant instructor, whatever you call it, assistant instructor, storm team, assistant instructor, leadership, some people call it the leadership team. This is step one. So when I took this school over a few years back, I was looking for a different way to run a martial arts school. I had been very involved in the competitive aspect of martial arts, and that was kind of our culture. Frankly, it got boring, and I really didn't think it was the highest and best use of martial arts just to teach kids to win trophies. So I kept working and looking at different leadership teams, trying things in this environment and seeing what's working, and man, the results have just been spectacular. So let me ask you something. For about 30 or 40 years, what have we been advertising in martial arts when we're on Facebook or ads, however it's done? Is your kid getting bullied? Bring him to the martial arts school. Does your kid have low confidence, low self-esteem? Bring him to the karate school. Is your kid messed up? If he's messed up, bring him to the karate school. We fix broken kids. That's kind of the thing. And the kids see this too. Man, is this the only place where kids that have big challenges are coming to? What if we're looked at more as our leaders are happy kids? Our leaders don't get bullied. Our leaders have high self-esteem. Our leaders are confident. So we come from a positive standpoint instead of a negative standpoint. Why doesn't Jimmy get bullied at the martial arts school or get bullied at school? Because he's a strong, confident leader, and bullies don't pick on strong, confident leaders. So we can look at a different, what they call unique selling position with this program, as opposed to having a bunch of trophies in the window, right? 2, 1. All right, who has a powerful leadership culture? When I think of leaders, one of the things that came into my mind is a picture of a West Point cadet graduate. You've all seen the picture. They're squared away. They're in their cadet uniform, shoulders back, eyes straight ahead, looking sharp, right? Where else do you see that? Where else do you see that? I don't know about yours, but at our school, when those kids take their black belt test and they come out in that new uniform and that new belt and their shoulders are back and their eyes are squared ahead, they're right there with the... What's the difference? The West Point program costs $300,000. To get into West Point, you have to be recommended by a senator, the president, or some high-ranking official to even get recommended to it. If you're in, they'll spend $300,000 on you. Once you do all the entry, you've got to have an athletic background. You have to have high grades. You have to have an impeccable personal record. Can't have a criminal record. And once all of that's done, they reject 91% of the people that apply. There's a great book, The West Point Leadership Way. So if this is what, now after you do all that and you get into West Point and you're lucky enough to graduate, then you're enrolled for the next 5 years with the understanding that you might get shot. So we're doing about 90% of what they're doing, but we're not shooting our kids at the end of the program. So I started thinking more and more and more, how do we take that attitude, not unlike an Eagle Scout, and build that into our school? So that's what I did. And man, is it working. So here we are on a Monday class, our basic class. We have 4 rings going. I have 4 instructors, 2 black belts and 2 senpai belts, and we are having a blast. So what's the goal of this little course here? It's to teach you about integrating leadership into your school, to not just give it lip service, have a real leadership program. And what we've done is it's based on these 5 pillars of success you see behind me here. So it's based on a creed, 5 pillars, 8 values, and 40 leadership lessons. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. And if you can't explain your leadership program like that, then you've got a problem with it. So this course is going to give you some clarity. It's going to give you the structure, and you can load it however you want to load it with your material in there. Obviously, you don't have to use my stuff. But it'll give you the clarity to get in. It took me a long time to get this thing boiled down, because I would ask people about their leadership program, and they could never explain it to me. What do they call it? The elevator pitch. They can't give me an elevator pitch. This one, we call it the leader program, LEAD-R. Leadership, excellence, attitude, discipline, and respect. They're right there behind me. Where did that come from? Well, I was talking with one of my black belts, Matt Schaefer, and he was talking with his wife, Shannon. And they just had kids, and he asked her, what do you really want? What would make you consider yourself a success as a parent when these kids are grown up? And she started talking, well, I'd kind of like them to be leaders. I want them to know about excellence, and I want them to be disciplined. I want to be, and I thought we boiled it down to, I said, really, those 5? Yeah, if we got those 5, we consider ourselves successful as parents. So I said, all right, how can we take that, support those 5 pillars, we call them the 5 pillars of success, so that the kids own that by the time they get to black belt. So they can discuss leadership, excellence, attitude, discipline, respect. They internalize it, they use it, they live it every day. They can explain it to their siblings. They can explain it at school. They can live those things through the 8 values we teach. Where do we teach them? In the 40 leadership lessons. What's the foundation of the whole thing? Our creed. Creed, pillar, values, and leadership lessons. That's it. So what do you get in this course? You get 4 videos that are going to break down each one of these areas that I'm talking about. We're going to talk about the creed. Now, I know your creed purpose system, you've probably heard a ton about it. You need to hear more about it. It's the most important thing you'll have in your school. We're going to talk about these pillars and how we use those. We're going to talk about the values that support these, and we're going to talk about the leadership lessons. So there's 4 videos on them. You'll get one each day. You get a chance to review it, look at it. At the end of the whole thing, if you don't want to do the whole structure yourself, you can get me and I'll help you do it, of course. But I think a lot of you will be able to this will just fit right in and it'll work for you. And I'm doing this I don't sell courses for a living. I'm not a consultant for a living. I do this because I think it's the most important thing we can do as a profession, as our martial arts community. If we can be known as building confident leaders, we'll have a line down the street for people to get in our martial arts schools. So drop your name in below. It goes into one of those autoresponder things. It'll start shooting you the videos and the information. Enjoy. We're also going to put together a little Facebook group so we can all talk about it. And doesn't cost anything. How's that for a deal? Randy Reed, over and out. Hope you enjoy your leadership success course.